Today I'm going to show you a dummy easy dungeon farm that you can milk harder than Disney milks low quality live action remakes. Not only is it easy to do, but it's fast, and you can do it if you haven't yet touched the dungeon at all. You can also get literally every legendary weapon from the dungeon loot pool to drop from this farm, so if there's a particular role you're chasing, you can get it by doing this. You can also get a butt ton of wish engrams and lair keys. I've actually already near maxed out my wish engrams by doing this farm. Alright, timestamps below, enough talk, and let's go. The encounter we're going to be farming is the very first one, where you fight Wrathel, the big bad Scorn. You can either get a checkpoint on one character, hold it and swap like with most encounter farming, or you can just load up the dungeon each time and run there on foot, which only takes a minute. And you can occasionally find a thieving wretch scream on the bridge for free progress on your In the Shadow of the Mountain quest. Nice. If you're a fresh dungeoner and don't know the encounter, here's a very quick rundown. The big bad Scorn will put down lanterns on the ground with a white ring around them. Standing in that ring until the blight inside the lantern goes away means you've activated that lantern. When the imminent wish timer on your HUD goes down to 0, damage phase on the big bad begins. The more lanterns you've activated, the max being 2 at a time, the longer your DPS phase will be. Oh, and before DPS, you'll really quickly get teleported up into a medieval stripper cage and have to shoot 3 taken eyes before you get let out of your cage. That is kinda it. 2 quick tips during farming, by the way. If you don't get 2 lanterns activated and only do 1, you're probably not gonna have enough time to 1-phase the big boy. That's not really a big deal though, it's a short 2-phase, so don't get all upset and feel like you gotta wipe, oh, Astrocross would have gotten the 1-phase, I need to do it for him. It's fine, you'll be fine with a 2-phase. Tip number 2, when you're put in the cage, don't shoot the first eye that you see. Spin around a little bit first and find the lowest altitude eye, which should be around eye level with your guardian. Reason being, most times I see people die in the cage, it's because they started shooting the highest altitude eye first, which isn't optimal because your cage itself is rising. Start shooting the lowest eye first while you can still see it. The top one ain't going anywhere. Alright, team loadouts for a 1-phase. I'll share 3 quick ones with you, starting with what I think is probably the easiest. 1 Tether Hunter, 1 Radiant Warlock Well, 1 Pyrogale or Falling Star Titan, and the star of the show, 3 Legend of Acreus shotguns. Goes exactly how you think it would. Right as damage phase begins, everyone pops super. The Scorn is tethered, the Warlock Well goes down, and the Titan smacks the taste out of the Scorn's mouth with Pyrogale. Then it's Acreus time. One hang up is that you basically need the exotic catalyst on Acreus to really guarantee the 1-phase, as it gives you Trench Barrel for extra damage output. Melee the big bad, fire 3 rounds, rinse and repeat, reloading when needed. And remember, if he tries to stomp you away, just melee to pull yourself right back in immediately. If you do this strategy, make sure everyone has triple arc surge mods, some time dilation, and as much arc reloader as your skinny little arms can hold. Next recommendation. If you're running a full fire team of players who all enjoy dining on cuisine of the Crayola variety, you can also get a pretty straightforward 1-phase if everybody is running Berserker, aka Strand. The play here is everyone has Banner of War, Worm God Caress, a 1-2 punch shotgun, and just 1 tractor cannon. When damage phase begins, do the following. Somebody boop 1 time with tractor cannon, then swap to your 1-2 punch shotgun. Shoot, then melee until all 3 of your melee charges are gone, and then pop your super. With your super, do the heavy attack, then light, 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 repeat until your super is gone. Then after that, just do the shotgun thing over again, aka shotgun, then melee until your melee charges are again gone. Ideally, before damage phase begins, you spend your time punching the hell out of nearby Scorn to power up your Banner of War and Worm God exotic. Take note, when punching Scorn, do it with your uncharged melee attack. All your melee charges should be saved for the big bad. Syntho would probably work in a pinch, but they did get nerfed recently, so keep that in mind. If you're gonna do this strategy, for the love of God, turn on From Whence You Came on Ye Old Seasonal Artifact. Really handy for this strategy. And one more loadout recommendation, a little classic rocket launching. Very similar to loadout option 1. Ideally, you have 1 Tether Hunter, 1 Radiant Warlock Well, and 1 Pyrogale or Falling Star Titan. Also, 1 Gallarhorn and 2 Godroll legendary rocket launchers like Apex Predator with bait and switch. Oh yeah, and 1 Lumina, because these are real try-hard hours out here, you nerds. Damage phase begins, everybody pops super, Gallarhorn fires first, and everyone just rockets the absolute add a Rathel. Whoever has Lumina should buff teammates via hip fire, then proceed with rocket damage. If you're new, the Lumina buff is stronger than Radiant Well on paper, so just a teeny bit of extra damage output for everybody. If you're gonna do this strategy, mandatory armor mods, ×3 surge mods for whatever element rocket launcher you got, time dilation mods, reloader mods, and Argent Ordnance, which if you didn't know is a beast mode armor mod on the artifact. Check out my video in the pinned comment to learn more about that bad boy. Final note, I mentioned in 2 loadouts a Titan with Pyrogale super for burst damage. If you're gonna do that, which I recommend, be sure that your Titan has Heart of the Flame turned on via the artifact. Every little bit helps, you know what I'm saying? Again, keep in mind, if you don't one phase, that's okay, it happens. Just run it back. Still a dummy quick encounter, even with a 2 phase. But the more you practice, the more likely your team will get a little bit better each time. If you got your own 1 phase loadout recommendation for this farm, by all means, share down in the comment section. Oh, and yeah, I know you can technically solo 1 phase this guy with a Strand Titan, but it involves loadout swapping on the fly and some really strict timing. Also, the average player ain't really Pepper Geppetto, but if you want to try and nail that down on your own, just know that I believe in you. Let me know your best loot so far, either here or on Twitter. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.